It's amazing to consider how big a role music plays in our behavior. And while we all know that it can spark emotions, I'm going to show you how you can actually exploit this to improve your daily quality of life. Now, the first way to utilize music is in something I call dedicated thinking sessions. These are periods throughout the week where you thoughtfully set out some time to just think. Normally when we do things throughout the day, we passively think, and it only makes sense. We have to act quickly on decisions. We have to go to work, make food, indulge in our hobbies, etc. The goal of this active thinking, though, is to address our questions and find solutions to them. So ask the whys, the hows, whats. For example, why am I stressed? Oh, that's right, I had a lot going on at work today. Well, what can I do about it? I can use time outside of my job to work on something that doesn't stress me out. Well, how do I actually monetize this? If you do things like this, in the long run, you're going to see a compounding effect. Asking these questions over and over again gives you vision on how you can actually make a change in your life, instead of just thinking that it's an inevitable problem. Okay, this sounds cool, but how does music actually play into this? Well, by using things like nature sounds, calm instrumentals, dark noise, the list goes on, you can put your mind in a consistent flow state of thinking and overall put yourself at peace a lot more quickly. Not only does it eliminate the chaos in your surroundings, but it's also shown in numerous studies to have cognitive performance benefits. It showed an increase in the measurement of working memory and improving mood, all things that can be beneficial for deep thinking. The reason I mention these specific categories of music or sound is because there are also studies that show that more complex music can actually hurt the focus of the majority of the population more than it helps us. And because music is personal preference, the type of instrumentals, dark noise, and nature sounds are completely up to you. Because thinking sessions give us clarity on what actions we must take, I want to quickly mention that for tip number 2, it's to use these same categories of music for productivity workflow. I feel like on this one we've all experienced this to some degree, so I'll skip out on all like the peer-reviewed papers and stuff and hope that you can trust the bro science on this one. But definitely, if you haven't tried it out for yourself, make sure that the music is less complex for more difficult tasks, and in some cases, you may see better results with more complex music in easier tasks. Next, we have upbeat music for getting us hype and in a motivated state. Upbeat music allows for a quick shift in adrenaline, and it's an easy way to get yourself out of a tired state and into a driven state of mind. We all know to do this at the gym, but for me, I've also put this into other parts throughout my day where I'm not yet working, but want to get the extra bit of adrenaline so that I can. And a disclaimer that must be mentioned is that silence on its own is equally as powerful in its own ways. Sometimes silence gives you more clarity, sometimes it gives you more focus than music. And sometimes it's simply better to rely on your discipline and not that motivation that music gives you. So this is something to keep in mind as well, as I think it's important to include silence here and there. For me especially, now that I drive, I make sure that a good amount of the time I don't play any music, and instead I'll just listen to my thoughts and think about things. Back before my faith in Christ was a part of my life, I would listen to the normal rap that, we're used to today. And after putting my faith in God, I was convicted of the fact that I was listening to stuff that wasn't a representation of how I wanted to be, live, or think. And it's controversial for a few reasons, the main one being that, as long as you don't act on what you're listening to, then what's the problem? And I somewhat thought this for some time, but after switching all of my music away from artists like Cardi, Uzi, Drake, Youngboy, I realized that my subconscious mind became a lot clearer and more at peace. When you feed your mind these words, even if you don't want them to, they'll take a toll on your thinking and even your behavior. And for me, I know that I can still listen to instrumental versions of these songs so that I still enjoy the music I like while also not destroying my mind. It was a tough change, but in the long run, I've been so much happier that all of it became worth it to go through the struggle of actually removing the music that I love. With that all being said, I hope that this video got you thinking, and hopefully you can use some of this to your advantage to live a more fulfilling, productive life. And if you want more content that can help you do exactly this, then I recommend subscribing and turning on post notifications, as I'm constantly working to learn more and more to provide you with more as a result. I love you all. Thank you for watching. I'm out. Be well, be blessed. Peace.